just mention, why the TSC does these kinds of things, and it's really to help build capacity in you. We care about you. We care about your development. We care about your programming, and we care about the community. And we want kids to be involved in the community, so they're doing things like playing healthy sports for the right reasons, going as far as they want to go, as opposed to hanging out with gangs and all the other side of life, of Toronto life, that we would prefer promoting the healthy side of Toronto's life, and that is sport. And so it's our objective to try and create more of these kinds of opportunities, and we're hoping that you get a lot out of it. And I guess I think it's important to say that having people like Kevin and like Lisa here, and like the lady from Storefront, that's a recipient of the City of Toronto grant, will give you the ground level view of how they got funding. And to me, agency people, you getting to know the agency people it's really important, but also, what does it take actually to make a really good, compelling application? And we want to help you succeed. And we think that if we do that, more people will be involved at all levels, and that's good for sport, and it's good for the community. So I guess without further ado, I want to introduce Kevin Humphrey, who I met about 4 years ago at our first workshop. He was so kind to come by and speak at that workshop and talk to us about how to apply for an Ontario Trillium grant. And we appreciate it then, and we really do appreciate it now, especially now, actually, because the Trillium Foundation are going through some changes. So it's very important that we know what those changes are. And but Kevin is just a little information about Kevin that I think you should be aware of. He is the Central Program Manager for the OTF. So I guess his focus really is Toronto area. Is that correct, Kevin? Yeah. Kevin actually has worked for the OTF for about 15 years. And it's mostly been focused on the sport and recreation area. For 7 years, he has been the program manager for the Toronto team. So working directly with sport and recreation groups to help them develop and has done a great job. Has been a big friend of the TSC for the past. We were lucky enough to receive a five-year grant from the Trillium Foundation, and we wouldn't have done the things that we do without their support. And so everything we do, we make sure that you're involved. So
Great.
and we hope that you'll still stay friends down the road. But a little bit more information about Kevin. Kevin has always been passionate about sport. For 20 years, he's been involved in the Canadian Electric Wheelchair Hockey Association. He played at the national North American tournaments, as well as even a world championship in which your team went undefeated. Fantastic. Great, congratulations. So an athlete, it's ironic because I just asked him if everything is still current. He said, no, he says, actually, I used to be the president of the local CEWHA Toronto division, but now I coach. So, it's great to hear he's still involved now. He's giving back in another way. And, in the morning presentation, we heard a lot about all the different ways you can be involved in sport and give to sport and support sport. So, without further ado, really Kevin needs no introduction, but without further ado, I'm really looking forward to hearing what you have to say today, and thank you for coming.
So I don't know if many of you heard me make presentation but even if you have, this is going to be quite different because as Kevin said, we're going through a lot of changes at the foundation, so this will be new useful information. First time I'm making this presentation, so it won't be as slick as it usually is, so forgive me about that, and I'll keep track of time because I have no idea how long this will take. I got this presentation late yesterday afternoon. Our communications department worked on it, and they even got my name on. So that's how. It's a rough draft. It's just Humphreys. There's no S. Humphreys. So here we go. So who are we? We're Canada's largest foundation with 110 million in community investments made every year. We make a little over 1,300 grants each year with the mandate to build healthy and vibrant communities. We've done this basically for 30 years the same way. Now we're making quite a bit of change. First time in 30 years. We have a new investment strategy, one that focuses on making a measurable community impact in specific areas. That's basically the crux of our changes. We want to be able to tell Ontario communities concretely the impact our money is making over the next 10 years, like we'll be investing $1 billion in the community. So we have to say what that $1 billion has achieved. We've identified the most changes we think need to happen in Ontario over the next decade for communities to be more healthy and vibrant. So what we fund, so action areas are the different areas that we will be making investments in. Every one of our investments must help achieve one of our priority outcomes. I'll talk a bit more about this later, but in short, these are the goals that define our 6 action areas. So these action areas are building blocks for healthy and vibrant communities. So you're too quick on the update. So the action areas, active people. You'll be most interested in this. Basically fostering more active lifestyle. Connected people, building inclusive and engaged communities together. Green people. There were a lot of discussion about the green people, but they're not actually green people. They support the environment. Inspired people, enriching people's lives through arts, culture, and heritage. Promising young people, supporting the positive development of children and youth, and finally, prosperous people. No, we're not funding rich people. We're funding people who may become rich, enhancing people's economic well-being. What are our priorities? Thank you. So as I noted, every one of the investments that we make must help achieve one of our priority outcomes. And for each of the 6 action areas, there are a set of priority outcomes that are backed by leading research and practice in the nonprofit sector. When we were working on this, we had a lot of consultation with nonprofit leaders in the community and action area, active people, a lot of sports and rec groups and so to do it. So, priority outcomes reflect the concrete goals that our investments will achieve. This means if you are thinking of applying for OTF funding next year, you should be thinking, will my project achieve one of these outcomes? You can see all our priority outcomes for each action area on our website, but here's a couple of ones around active people that you would be most interested in. So what types of grants do we make? So this is another change we've made. Before, grants would come in and they were all run together. So we could have a capital grant for computer equipment in the same pot as a big 5-year, like very involved project with young youth to get them more engaged in their community, and so that's no longer gonna be the case. Where we have different streams. The other thing is those varieties of applications require different times. So the capital one could be a quick turnaround. Like it's more straightforward. So the application, they were all on the same application, had to answer the same question, and it didn't always apply depending on the initiative. So that's why we've separated the stream. So seed grants, starting projects at the idea or conceptual stage. Smaller grants to help get an idea off the ground. Programs building on the success of proven initiatives. Grants that will help scale up ideas that we know work. Capital grants are broadening access to and improving community spaces. Grants that will build community infrastructure. Another new thing is we never used to invest in new construction. That's changed. We'll be able to invest in new construction going forward. So new buildings instead of just renovating existing one. And collective impact grants, bringing that, those are the ones that bring about fundamental change with collective action. Projects that will see OTF working in partnership with other organizations to tackle specific social environmental problems. So, like I said, these will be able, those streams will go to our grant review team, and so they can compare apples to apples, like to like. Okay? So what size of grants do we make? Now, a bit of caution here, because my eyes popped when I saw these amounts, and I'm sure your eyes will pop, but it's not a lottery here, so, okay, before we get into that, C, 5,000 to 75,000, up to a year. Rule 50,000 to 250,000 per year, 2 to 3 years. Capital, 5 to 150,000, up to a year. And collective impact, up to $500,000 for 3 to 5 year term. So collective impact grants are very different. They will require the co-creation or co-design of solutions, the development of evaluation strategies, and shared measurement, and could involve professional facilitation, convening, research, and there'll be 2 stages to those. We'll want like a letter of intent, and then if it's accepted, then we'll ask for an application. All that to be said, collective impact, game-changing kind of initiative, like really, like will make huge changes in how things are done and impact. So back to what I was going to say is numbers. Those are huge numbers, but also being realistic. Like we just had a deadline, and we did a first look at an application. The group incorporated this year. They have no financial statements. So, but luckily they were realistic and only requested a measly $731,000. And that's so people shoot for the yes, and that's not always the wise thing to do. So have to be realistic. So when are the deadlines? So can't really tell you right now, but they would start in the summer of 2015. And like I was saying, different initiatives require different assessment and that. So the seed grant and the capital grant, because they are seen to be smaller, maybe more straightforward, there'll be quicker turnaround in the assessment. So there'll be 4 deadlines a year for those streams. The grow grant only 2 deadlines per year. The collective impact grant, I think they're thinking they'll be more fluid, so those will be ongoing, continuous intake is what we are thinking. We're almost there, and I think I'm doing okay. So, great. So looking ahead, there's not much information here, but November 2014, we just launched our new website. So if you haven't been to our website lately, take a look. It's all changed. All this information on there. The spring of next year, on the deadline and applications announced, I guess the deadlines and maybe the application forms will be ready, and by the summer we'll be accepting applications. So in the meantime, every one of our investments, just to summarize, must achieve a priority outcome. So you need to understand, get familiar with our investment strategy. Different types of projects need different types of support. So we have different investment streams to meet your needs. Important to, this is one change. Another change, I was telling someone who came up to talk to me, is this is a big change. So, for the ones who dealt with Trillium in the past, we will not any longer, the program manager, like myself, will not any longer be able to talk one-on-one with groups about a specific initiative. So the idea is everyone has access to the same information. So there's equity in accessing the information. So if you want to talk with someone, we have a support center, and the numbers on the website, but it's 1-800-263-2887. So again, 1-800-263-2887. Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 5. And there's a note here. You will get a response within 24 hours. I guarantee it, personally. And also coming in next year, FAQs will be posted on our website. You will be able to complete a quick online questionnaire to find out which investment streams make sense for you. Each investment stream has its own guide that describes what type of projects are a good fit, eligibility requirements, application deadlines, and more. And before you can start an application, you must first register your organization, even if you have received funding in the past. And another thing I just want to mention, not mentioned here, and then I'll be happy to take questions for 2.5 minutes. Is, please, in the past, again, if you're familiar with ODF, you know that we've been a bit flexible with missing information. We are really trying to, like, cut that down. So we're really, like, information, please make sure it's complete. Phone us if you want to verify that you've got everything. But one big thing is balance sheet. So when we say financial statements, for some reason people don't include balance sheets. So if the balance sheet's not there, the application will be technically declined. So just take your time and make sure that your application is complete. So I know that was a lot of information. Hopefully that was good, and hopefully it seems somewhat smooth. So, any questions? No? Okay. Thank you.
You know I always have questions, Kevin.
Yes, please.
Yes, there are initiatives in process right now and applications and expressions of interest that we have filed, and I'm speaking specifically to the Youth Opportunities Fund. Can you speak what will be happening?
I unfortunately can't speak a lot about Youth Opportunities Fund because it's a whole separate program. But if things are like, if I don't know where they are in the cycle, but if you're working on applications, I'm sure that will be fine. They won't be.
They were
any-
submitted in September. We're
Okay.
waiting now for responses. And
Okay.
then the application for selected agencies was to be in January. How would that fit with the new concept?
I don't think the Youth Opportunity Fund will, for January, will change to this because we won't be ready in January to change to this. So it'll be probably pretty well the same.
So this is for the next year.
Yes, like in summer.
I think traditionally, you've had a July deadline, correct?
We
Like it's
had
November,
March.
March, and then July?
Yeah,
Right.
so we're taking 6 months off. So I'm sure we'll have a lot going on.
Any other questions? Now's your chance.
Did people like the presentation?
Yes.
That was great.
You know what, on that note, thank you very much for listening, and Kevin, as always, thank you for presenting and giving us some idea of what to look forward to. And there's still lots of money in that program.
Yeah.
Good program. So I'm really excited, and I guess the connection is, if you have a question, call the support center.
Yeah, not me anymore.
Unfortunately,
That's heartbreaking, Kevin.
Yeah.
yeah. So I'd like to give you this as a small token of appreciation. Thanks again.
Sorry, I can't stay today. I have to leave for you. Would you like me the rest of the afternoon? I'm not a touch Cory.
Maybe while we're setting up the presentation, if you'd like a bit more to eat or some coffee or some pop or some water.